Hi everyone, Sandra here, and today we are making something that is super yummy. Chocolate zucchini squash bread. Doesn't necessarily sound good, but it really is, and it'll help you out if you ended up with too much zucchini and or squash in your garden this year. Although zucchini is a squash, I think you know what I mean. So let's get started. First things first, get your oven preheated to 350 and then get 2 loaf pans greased and floured. And then we're going to go to the next step, which is the eggs over here. So there are 3 eggs in here that are, very lightly beaten. And remember, like all my recipes, all of these ingredients and the measurements will be down in the description box, so you don't have to worry about trying to remember them or write them down real quick. To this, we're going to add 1 cup of white sugar and 1 cup of brown. And we're just going to mix it till it's combined. Now, for your squash, I'm using butternut squash. You can use frozen squash, just let it defrost and get some of that water off of there. Or you can use fresh, but if you're using fresh, you obviously have to cook it first. This is squash that I canned up last year, and that's a pint-sized jar, and the one pint size comes out to 1 cup, and that's exactly what we need for this recipe. Okay. We have that mixed together, and now I am going to add, whoops, it's going to be a little messy here, my 1 cup of squash. And if you don't have squash, you of course can use pumpkin. I'm just using squash because I did have some of it left over, and why not use it instead of waiting for the pumpkin. So just going to mix that in. On canned squash, I mean, it's soft as butter, super easy just to mash it down. Okay, and now to this we're going to add 1 cup of oil. This is grapeseed. Use whatever oil you want. Okay, and now we're going to add our dry ingredients. Whoops, almost forgot the vanilla. So we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. I lost my vanilla that I made, so I had to buy some, but I'm going to have to make some more. Oh, holy moly, that little thing fell in there. What the heck? Little paper thing. So I'll add a teaspoon. Mix it in there. Okay, and now for our dry ingredients. In this bowl here is 3 cups of flour, just regular flour, a 1/4 cup of cocoa, a 1/2 teaspoon each of salt and baking powder, and then a teaspoon of baking soda. And now I'm going to just mix this around a little bit. Don't have to do it a lot, but just to, incorporate them a little bit here. It's a little warm to be baking today. Still, August, but I had this really big zucchini that I have to find stuff to do with, so I said, why not? Alright, now when we add this, we're going to add it gradually. You don't want to add it all at one time. So we'll add it and stir. And by the way, if You know, this is a really changeable recipe. If you don't have cocoa or you don't want to make chocolate, go ahead and leave the cocoa out. Add a couple extra tablespoons of flour. And you could, you know, put some cinnamon, nutmeg in there, maybe some nuts or seeds or even chocolate chips. That would be good. You know, you can do a lot with this recipe. Okay, now that it's all mixed in there, our final ingredient will be our zucchini. You want 2 cups of that. So, why bother getting my hands so dirty? Jeez. Okay, you know, and when you tell people what kind of bread this is, you might want to leave the squash word out of it, because people will, you know, especially if they don't like squash, will just get these ideas in their head that they won't like it, when in reality they're going to love it. Okay, time to get them in the pans. Okay, the pans are ready, so we're going to put them in a 350 oven for 45 to 55 minutes. Make sure you start checking them at 45 minutes and just do them the same way you would a banana bread. You know, take a toothpick in there and check to see if they're done. When you pull them out of the oven, let them rest and cool in their pans for 10 minutes before you take them out. Okay, it's all, well, they're all done. Got a piece right here. Very good. It's really nice and moist. But one of the other good things about this bread is it freezes beautifully. So if you have a lot of extra squash this year, make sure to make a bunch of it, put it in the freezer, and then you'll always have something on hand if people come over, or to give as a really nice homemade gift. They're great for bake sales, for potlucks, just almost really anytime. I feel like it's also a really good bread for kids at snack time because it's also filling. So it's something they'll really like, and it'll help fill them up, keep them going until lunch or dinner time. But anyhow, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Give a thumbs up if you liked it. And as always, it was nice talking to you. And you take care.